What's the matter, Alistair?
I don't know, it just feels wrong to find this here. Poured over by darkspawn and thick with their rot. It was his.
I know, I feel it too. But he is not the first king to ever fall in battle, or even the first to fall to the darkspawn.
Yes, but this wound cuts deeper.
And it will bleed longer. But we must keep moving. No doubt the darkspawn are eager to give us plenty more reasons to mourn.
So here we are back at the ruins of the ancient temple portion of Ostagar, and this is where we actually performed our joining. And when you look here, you see that the joining chalice has been left behind, still with little drops of darkspawn blood still in it. And this actually serves as a gift that you can give to Alistair.
Is that for me?
And it gives you a nice approval boost there. Alright, let's keep looking. Alright, we found the key that the man had buried, and here is Cailan's chest that requires it. Secret correspondence and Mark's sword.
So it's true. He had convinced the forces of Orlais to ally against the darkspawn.
Empress Cailan was merely awaiting his response.
A response that never came, and now never will, thanks to Loghain's treachery.
Never is a long time, Alistair. Give it time, and let cooler heads prevail. There will be peace between us yet.
Well, I hope you live to see it, Wynne.
And I hope the darkspawn don't.
Alright, let's take a look. Let's see. That comes in 3 parts here. Let's see if I can find the other 2. 2... 1. Okay. A little spread out here. I'm not sure why. Okay. Cailan's documents, page 1 of 3. To His Majesty, King Cailan of Ferelden. My Warden Commander assures me that we face a blight. This thing threatens us both, and we must work together to fight it, lest it devour all. Our 2 nations have not had a happy history, but that is all it is. History. It is the future that is at stake now. Let us put aside our father's disagreements, so that we may secure the future for both our countries. My chevaliers stand ready and will accompany the Grey Wardens of Orlais to Ferelden. At your word, the might of Orlais will march to reinforce the Ferelden forces. Sincerely, Empress Cailan I. Page 2. Your Majesty. My men will arrive as soon as possible to bolster your forces. Make her willing, this blight will be ended before it has begun. Cailan, I beseech you, as your uncle, not to join the Grey Wardens on the field. You cannot afford to take this risk. Ferelden cannot afford it. Let me remind you again that you do not have an heir. Your death, and it pains me to even think of it, would plunge Ferelden into chaos. And yes, perhaps when this is over, you will allow me to bring up the subject of your heir. While a son from both the Thyran and Mactir lines would unite Ferelden like no other, we must accept that perhaps this can never be. The Queen approaches her 30th year, and her ability to give you a child lessens with each passing month. I submit to you again that it might be time to put Honora aside. We parted harshly the last time I spoke of this, but it has been a full year since then, and nothing has changed. Please, nephew, consider my words, and Andraste's grace be with you. This is from Arleman to his nephew, King Cailan. Now the last page. This letter appears to have been crumpled, then carefully smoothed out and folded again. Cailan, the visit to Ferelden will be postponed indefinitely due to the darkspawn problem. You understand, of course. The darkspawn have odd timing, don't they? Let us deal with them first. Once that is done, we can further discuss a permanent alliance between Orlais and Ferelden. A note written in an uncharacteristically familiar tone from Empress Cailan I to King Cailan. So this should give us some insight into what may have happened here and why Loghain did what he did. We have to keep in mind that Loghain, because he fought to free Ferelden from Orlais, is extremely paranoid about Orlais taking over Ferelden again, and has a terrible bias against anything related to Orlais. And now it seems that Cailan and Cailan were planning an alliance, and even the last part of the letter seems to hint that maybe there was something between the two of them. If you recall, in the second part of the letter, Arl Eamon said that Anora may in fact be barren, and could not give Cailan an heir. And it might have been that Cailan was thinking of maybe having a union with Empress Cailan in order to produce an heir to Ferelden. It's pretty standard practice especially in medieval Europe, to solidify an alliance by having a marriage between two royal families, or at least having an heir that comes from both royal families. But of course, to Loghain, this would probably look like the ultimate treachery. You know, not only is he requesting an alliance from Orlais, but he might be seeking to have an heir with the Orlesian Empress, Loghain's sworn enemy. So this is a good bet as to why Loghain finally decided, you know, he may have even thought that Cailan was a traitor to his own country, and so decided to let the darkspawn get rid of him, and put himself on the throne through his daughter, Anora. So some interesting insight into the politics that was going on behind the massacre at Ostagar.
Cursed creatures. You had it coming.
Smells great. Is that death you're wearing? It really suits you.
Forgive us, my king. Once we flushed the darkspawn from their holes and bought ourselves some time, we'll be back to see you to the Maker.
Alright, after fighting through a ton of darkspawn, we have made our way back to the Tower of Ishal. And you may recall that the first time we ran in there, it was overrun, and the guards that were there claimed that the darkspawn had come up through the lower levels. So we're going to trace them back down through those lower levels now, instead of going up.
As you wish.
Darn that necromancer.